who are the individuals, either in or out of your organization, who did not have the privilege of being here? And trust me, it's a privilege. I guarantee you there are badges outside of individuals who signed up and were not able to come because of work. I was in this hotel yesterday and not able to come because of work. So being here is a huge privilege, and I encourage you to, number one, take the learnings, the things that are practical for you, definitely take them back. But how can you bring something back to someone else that you have learned? I know there are roundtable discussions, there are different activities and exercises that I encourage you to find a way to bring back to your organization or others who can benefit. And I have all employees in uppercase for a specific reason. There are organizations that consider themselves to be diverse and inclusive because they invite the right people to the meeting. But who are the individuals who are actually speaking in the meeting? One of the things that I had to do as a leader on one of my teams is to change the order of sharing. So I'm all about two-way communication. I learned that early. But I recognize that there's one individual who always spoke first and always dominated the conversation for the rest of the meeting. And so what I started doing was the day before, I would put out the agenda, and then under sharing, I would juggle the names around and ensure that different individuals started and not the same person started always. And that can change the tone and the theme of the meeting, for sure. So I encourage you that once you have individuals in your organization and you have them at the table, give them a voice. Those that are not at the table who should be there, certainly make sure that you're advocating for them, you're speaking up, and you're allowing them to be there. The other thing I'll share too is ask the right questions. So I'm a mother of 5. I spoke at an event in Chicago last Monday, in London last Thursday. I had a graduation on Wednesday, a graduation on Thursday, and I'm here in Canada today, and I live in Greenwich, Connecticut. I have a village. I literally have a village who supports me. But don't assume that because someone is a parent or because someone is taking care of an elderly parent or because they're preparing to run a marathon, that they're not ready for more. So ask the right questions. Ask individuals what is driving them, what are some of the things that are important to them versus making assumptions. And then share your work-life practices. When leaders are sharing how they're able to be balanced, when they're being vulnerable in sharing when they're off balance and how they get back into balance, that absolutely helps with the organization being a role model, not only on the teams that you're on, but for others within the organization. I strongly encourage you, if you have a newsletter or a YouTube channel or an IG for your organization, that you incorporate wellness. I also encourage you to continue your employee assistance programs. And what I mean by that is employee assistance programs are underutilized. Many organizations have less than 5% usage. But I encourage you to keep your employee assistance programs, because there was a time when I considered not keeping mine because the usage was so low. But I encourage you to keep it, because if you have one employee who finds value in the employee assistance program, you're making a difference in at least one life. But how can you get together with your employee assistance programs or any other resources that you have to bring wellness to your employees? So whether it's a cooking class, sharing recipes, yoga at work. Don't do yoga at work Wednesday at 2, huge failure. Choose the right day that works for the organization for sure. But how can you ensure that you're sharing wellness, a step challenge, photos of being outside, especially organizations that are remote? I can attest to the fact that getting outside is actual work, right? Like getting outside is work if you're in a remote environment. So choose what's right for your organization and ensure that you are bringing wellness to your employees and you're making sure that it's proactive, that it's not a reactive setup in your organization.